The MVC pattern was first introduced in late 1970s for Smalltalk programming language. There are three components in this architecture: model, view, and controller. Here the view lets the controller know about some kind of user action, and based on the user action, the controller updates the model. The model does some calculation and notifies the view, and the view notifies the model about its latest state. Sometimes the controller might update the view directly. So this was the first design introduced. But the Apple version of MVC is a little bit different. There is no direct link between the view and the model. Controller controls everything. It updates the model, and from the data from the model, it updates the view. So there is no direct link between the view and the model like the initial design. The MVC as a compound pattern, it consists of other small design pattern like composite, strategy, and observer. Let's see what are these. Composite design pattern, you can think it like a tree. In a tree, we do have leaves, branches, all these things makes up a giant tree. Now imagine a view of a view controller. A view consists of lots of other stuff like label, button, text, table view, lots of things. So you can compare it with a tree-like structure. And the strategy design pattern, here we have a controller object which control everything and which decides which view to show, what to show, how to show. So it takes the strategy to do that. You can think about a view controller in MVC pattern. The view controller takes charge of everything and it is in control of showing the view. And finally, we do have the observer design pattern. You can think of the combined framework in Apple. Here we have two main character, publisher and subscriber. Publisher publish some changes and the subscriber is listening to the publisher, and whenever there's a new change, it acts accordingly. So the model takes the responsibility to implement the observer design pattern. Now let's see about the main components of the MVC. First, let's talk about the model. Here we do have all kind of data should be resided here, and all kind of business logic, it should be here. And the all kind of data like code data, data from internet, everything should be residing here. And the model is not aware of the view directly. There is no connection between the view and the model. And it can communicate with each other. A model can communicate with other model and exchange data. Now the view is responsible for displaying something obviously, and it is responsible for any kind of user action like edit, touches, scrolls, delete, anything. And it can show data from a single model or from multiple models. Like a view can show data from core data, at the same time it can show data from the internet in the same view. So it can have multiple model. And view can be reusable. It should be reusable, and view must never store any data, but there are some kind of exception, which is it can cache some small data like image caching. We know downloading image and showing it again and again is expensive, so in those kind of exceptional situation, we can cache some data. And the final thing is the controller. This is the main character of the MVC, which is the intermediary between the view and the model. So it links up the view and the model. It listens for any kind of user action from the view and let the model know about it. And when there is any changes in the model data, it let the view know about it. So it acts as an intermediary between the view and the model, and it maintains the life cycle of the whole application. So this is the main character in MVC.